Now on News 8 at 11, 2 firefighters are hurt tonight taking down flames at this Lancaster County business.
300 feet in the air. That's how high these flames flew after a train accident in West Virginia.
And the top story in the first 11 at 11, the Susquehanna Valley covered in white, maybe a little pink and purple tonight. You can see the winter storm hitting the Susquehanna Valley on Super Doppler 8. Good evening, I'm Janelle Stelson.
And I'm Ron Martin. News 8 at 11 starts right now.
You're watching WGAL 8. Now, coverage you can count on continues from the Susquehanna Valley's most watched news team. This is News 8 at 11 in HD.
Right now, the snow is falling across the Susquehanna Valley. You're looking live along Route 30 near Columbia, Lancaster County.
And it's snowing on our Harrisburg Skycam. The iced over Susquehanna River now getting some snow on top.
Chief Meteorologist Joe Calhoun's here now with the latest on this forecast.
Yeah, it looks like most of this storm is heading right off to the south of us. You see the brighter whites down in here, and they're getting icing across the Carolinas. The center of the storm is still down just to the south of Atlanta, and it's tracking to the east. But it's not making the turn up the coast the way it appears right now. What are we getting? Well, we're actually getting from a real strong belt of winds aloft. They're pretty strong at about almost 100, 120 miles an hour, way up at about 20,000 feet. This is enough energy to cause some light snow. But you can see the bulk of the moisture is well off to our south. We're going to be in the northern fringe of this storm. We're only going to get some light snow, and that's what we've been getting right now. We're getting occasionally, though, see this little band and went through Carlisle and really whiten things up. Hershey now up toward Lebanon, getting a nice area of moderate snow. And look at the temperatures, very cold, still barely out of the single digits out there. So the very cold air can give you a fluffy little bit of a coating, but it looks like coating 2 to 4. They're the numbers I'd be paying attention to, more on the lower end of this right now. But there will be some higher elevations to get a little more than those 2 or 3 inches. But again, it looks like most of this is coming through now till about 5 in the morning, and then it's quickly out of here. Your heavier amounts will be south of the turnpike, mainly flurries, but there will be slick roads for the morning commute. And again, we're looking at a coating to a couple of inches north of the turnpike, 2 to 4 from the turnpike southbound. And again, I'd lean more on the lower end of that, but it will be slick out there. I'll have the rest of that 7-day coming up.
So what about your morning commute?
The storm team's Jim Sinkovich is out on the roads tonight in York County with a look at current conditions and PennDOT's plan to keep you safe.
Yeah, Ron and Janelle, you can see right now the snow coming down a little heavier than it was an hour ago when we spoke to you. You can see here it is starting to accumulate pretty good in this parking lot. We have a time and temperature clock here. It still says it's about 14 degrees, but if you take a look at Route 30 right now, you can see the last time it was just wet. Now you can see some of the snow starting to pick up here. Now PennDOT has had a number of trucks on the road today, one passing us as we speak at this moment. You can see him laying down some salt and a mixture of what they call a chemical that helps melt this snow and ice in temperatures when it's really cold like it is right now. Now they'll be putting down anti-skid on these roadways as well to help motorists get some traction as this snow continues. They'll also be plowing if there is any accumulation on the highways right now. But as you can see, traffic on here along Route 30 moving along pretty well right now, even with a snow cover, a light snow cover on the roadway right now, and the people are slowing down and using caution. Reporting live in York County, Jim Sinkovich, News 8.
And we'll have another update on the snow in about 12 minutes. And remember, you can get the latest weather anytime at WGAL.com or on WGAL Mobile.
In Lancaster County, an antique shop was destroyed by fire late today. It happened at Patricia's Antiques and Collectibles on the 3100 block of Main Street in Conestoga Township. Investigators tell us that this was yet another case of a fire being sparked by someone trying to thaw frozen pipes. This time a commercial blow dryer was being used. An apartment above the shop was also damaged. 2 firefighters suffered minor injuries and were treated at the scene. One of them had slipped and fell on the ice.
Tonight we have an update on a fire in York County last week. That fire at the former Red Lion Country Club has now been ruled arson. Both state police and fire marshals continue to investigate, but so far no charges. Firefighters on the scene that day say it seemed suspicious.
Only that it was a vacant building and really shouldn't have been on fire. There was no reason for it to be on fire.
The old country club building was owned by the Red Lion School District and had been vacant for a year.
To Dauphin County, where police are investigating the discovery of a body. It was found along the railroad tracks by Route 22-322 and the Clarks Ferry Bridge. Police have not released any other information. In Harrisburg, police say a woman in her 60s was found dead Sunday in her apartment at Linden Terrace on Front and Verbeck Streets. Police say a man in the apartment did not report her death. Police say there is no indication of foul play. An autopsy will be done tomorrow.
And in York, investigators are awaiting more test results to find out what caused 29-year-old Leroy Kelly's death. An autopsy today did not provide specific answers. Police say Kelly was at a party on the 600 block of West King Street Sunday morning when he was involved in some sort of altercation and became unresponsive. Police are looking for 41-year-old Edward Mitchell Jr. He's wanted for a string of robberies. Police say the most recent was this morning at the Metro Bank on Lingelstown Road in Lower Paxton Township. And they say Mitchell robbed the Kmart on Jonestown Road last Thursday.
Hundreds of Millersville University students are back in their dorms tonight after being evacuated for nearly 6 hours due to a carbon monoxide leak. Fire crews say 700 students had to exit the South Village dormitory at 10 this morning. They didn't get back in until around 4 this afternoon. News 8 learned the leak started in the boiler room. Students say it made for a frustrating day.
I get a text message and it says stay away from the South Side Suite. And I'm like, oh great, the place I live at, my home, I cannot even go into.
Everyone was able to get out safely. A shortage of police cars has the city seeking ways to increase its fleet in Harrisburg. Harrisburg police have only 15 to 20 marked vehicles in service. Captain Colin Cleary says there are enough vehicles for police to do their jobs, but Cleary says accidents and day-to-day crime fighting have contributed to the lack of vehicles on the streets. This includes the city's K-9 vehicles.
When one of their vehicles goes down for repair or inspection, maintenance, something like that, they have to borrow another K-9 officer's vehicle or the K-9 can't come to work.
Last week, Dauphin County awarded the police department with $200,000 in grants from gaming dollars. That will help pay for 4 new K-9 vehicles.
Tomorrow, former state treasurer Rob McCord will be in federal court. McCord is expected to plead guilty to extortion charges. He has confessed to using his office to threaten potential campaign donors during his run for governor last year. The charges carry a maximum of 40 years in prison. And tomorrow is Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, in the Susquehanna Valley. That means Fastnachts. The Pennsylvania Dutch tradition celebrates eating those fatty, deep-fried pastries for good luck with all the ingredients you're not supposed to eat during Lent. Many churches use it as a fundraising opportunity. At St. Cecilia's here in Lebanon, hundreds of dozens of Fastnachts are ordered and sold out in advance.
In New Orleans, Fat Tuesday is a little different. Pre-Mardi Gras celebrations are in full swing tonight. Rex, the king of Carnival, arrived in New Orleans tonight to a rousing welcome. He issued his royal proclamation for this year's Mardi Gras celebration. Thousands of people are reveling in the French Quarter tonight ahead of the big party. More national news. Some people have longer to sign up for health care. The deadline to have health care or face a fine was Sunday. But problems with the government website, healthcare.gov, led to long waits over the weekend and some were unable to sign up. Those Americans now have until next Sunday to buy health care. Problems over the weekend prevented about 500,000 people from enrolling.
Egypt quickly retaliated against the terror group ISIS after the killing of 21 Egyptian Christians. Egyptian state TV broadcasted video today, it says, shows Egyptian airstrikes against ISIS militants in Libya. A Libyan Air Force commander says at least 40 militants were killed. Yesterday, ISIS released a video purportedly showing the mass beheadings on the Libyan coast. Hours later, Egypt's president vowed his country would respond. The U.S. is also condemning the action, calling it despicable and cowardly.
A CSX train carrying crude oil derailed in rural West Virginia this evening, forcing evacuations in 2 nearby towns. As you can see in this dramatic cell phone video, the crude oil burst into a huge fireball with flames visible for miles. At least one of the tanker cars plowed into a home before bursting into flames. Another plunged into the Kanawha River. It's believed all 109 train cars were carrying crude oil.
And take a look at this. Also, flames tearing through a medical office building in Philadelphia overnight. And on the right, you can see what it looked like hours later, a virtual Iceland. A car parked on the street is now encased in ice, as are several buildings. The fire started around 5 this morning and took about 2 hours to put out.
Today's storm is hampering millions of Americans reaching into areas that have gotten off relatively easy this winter until now.
CNN's Joe Johns reports snow, freezing rain, ice, and bitter cold are stretching from Oklahoma to South Carolina and on up the coast.
Freezing cold temperatures mixed with heavy snow and ice taking aim mostly at the south. More than 50 million people under winter storm warnings, stretching from Missouri through South Carolina, making driving conditions treacherous. In Kentucky, a tow truck driver gets stuck as others try to make it home.
Well, it's all right if you just maintain, but if you speed, you know what I'm saying, you can't get nowhere fast but a crash.
Now I'm trying to get home. I just had a blowout on the freeway, but I was able to pull in here.
Richmond, Virginia, bracing for more than a foot of snow. From Little Rock, Arkansas to Memphis, cars covered in ice. Charlotte, North Carolina was expecting to see snow first, then up to half an inch of ice on the roadways. Both the city and county governments closing early to get people home before the worst of it hit the area.
We've been meeting and talking on the phone since yesterday to ensuring that we have a good coordinated rollout and strategy to deal with the very, very unique cold situations across our state. It's kind of ironic. This is about the same time we had the major storm last year, but it's a different type of storm.
On the end of a long weekend that coincided with both Valentine's Day and President's Day, air travelers trying to get home were also being affected. Charlotte's busy airport put its snow and ice control plan into effect. And in Nashville, Southwest Airlines canceled all arrivals and departures. 3 to 7 inches of snow are forecast there in the next 24 hours.
And much of North Georgia is also under a winter storm watch tonight. Up north, Boston's facing its 4th winter storm in 3 weeks.
That is News 8's First 11 at 11. We've been telling you about several fires sparked by people trying to thaw frozen pipes. Coming up, which appliance is recommended to keep water flowing if you have to do it yourself?
Here are tonight's lottery numbers. The Pick 2, 90.
Pick 3, 960.
Pick 4, 8992.
Pick 5, 88471.
The Cash 5, 7, 8, 10, 29, 33.
And the Match 6, 6, 8, 19, 27, 28, 42.
On the next Access Hollywood Live in New York, from Trump's boardroom directly to us, Geraldo Rivera and Lisa Gibbons join us on the Plaza. We'll talk about their Celebrity Apprentice live finale face-off. Next Access Hollywood Live from New York.
Tuesday at 11 on Channel 8.
It's President's Day, and the savings are huge. Lease the all-new Sonata for just $159 a month. Take home class-leading interior space and up to an EPA estimated 37 mpg highway. Got your eye on the J.D. Power Honored Elantra? Take it home for just $129 a month. During the President's Day sales event, you'll save big on every Hyundai on the lot. Get 0% APR for 60 months plus $1,000, or get up to $2,750 total savings.
Love your family and love your friends. Isn't this life enough? Food on your table, your electric lights. Isn't this life enough?
Electricity, it's part of all our lives. Using it efficiently should be too. And nobody wants to help you do that more than the people who bring it to you. Learn more at pplelectric.com/epower.
Isn't this life enough?
Compromise? Middle ground? Does it really look like we're holding anything back? Longhorn's dinner for two for $29.99. Choose 2 of 7 entrees like the grilled portobello sirloin or the Parmesan crusted chicken, plus 2 sides, 2 salads, and a shared appetizer or dessert. It's a deal without a single concession. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak. And for lunch, try our new Tavern Steak Sandwich. Or get any of our steakhouse lunch combos starting at $7.
Right now, at the Volkswagen President's Day event, you'll find plenty of deals worth saluting. For a limited time, get a President's Day bonus on select new Volkswagen models, including the fun-to-drive Jetta, the roomy Passat midsize sedan with best-in-class rear legroom, and the efficient Passat TDI clean diesel. So, to get the presidential treatment and a great deal, see your Volkswagen dealer today. Hurry into your Volkswagen dealer for a great deal on a Jetta or Passat, plus a President's Day bonus. Offers end February 16th.
Discover the hottest action scene and experience a thriller like never before. where you could go from celebrity to legend in the blink of an eye. So get ready for your close-up and bask in the limelight, because there's no place like Hollywood.
Covering the Susquehanna Valley, you're watching News 8 at 11 with Ron Martin. Janelle Stelzig, the News 8 Storm Team Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Joe Calhoun, and Sports with Mike Hostetler. Now, coverage you can count on continues.
On this President's Day, some people toured Wheatland, the Lancaster home of James Buchanan, the 15th President of the United States.
Most of the tourist attractions in Lancaster are not open, and people who are visiting here, and a lot of locals. This morning I met a couple from West Virginia and a couple from New Jersey. So it is a pretty busy day for us.
Tours are from 10 to 3 every day except Sundays.
Now, the News 8 Storm Team Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Joe Calhoun.
I'm going to start with the morning lows. I think this is playing a factor in the outcome of the snow. Look how cold it is this morning. 25 below up in Bradford, 11 below in State College. We were record lows near 0 and single digits all the way down south of the Mason-Dixon line. Well, why does that matter? Cold but very dry air, and it's suppressing all the moisture well off to the south of us. That's why National Weather Service has the winter storm warnings off to the south of the Mason-Dixon line. North of it, lighter amounts. And you can see that on the radar. It's been having a tough time getting to the north of the turnpike. Starting to see some flurries and light snow, but again, it's mostly on the light side, and already seeing some drier air wrap into the storm from the west. Most of the moisture, the heavier moisture, is gone well off to the south of us. So we're going to be in the very lighter end of this storm. A lot of the storms this year, the heavier is going off to our north, and we've been into that mixed bag. But this one's a little different. We're missing it off to the south for the most part. Icy conditions down across parts of the south. More on that in just a second. In the meantime, for us, there is a little moderate band. Hershey over to Lebanon, over toward Reading right now. Otherwise, it's mostly light snow, but it's making it pretty slick with those low temperatures out there at this hour. We're going to stick with just a coating, maybe an inch or two north of the turnpike. From the turnpike down to almost the Mason-Dixon line, probably closer to 2 inches. It's going to be that fluffy kind of powdery snow, but it's going to make it slick. And again, you mostly got a better chance at that 4 inches the closer you get to the Mason-Dixon line. Again, we're already seeing some drier air. I think this thing is over with by the time you get up tomorrow morning. But the snow has come down from the last hour. It was actually showing a little bit of streak just a little while ago on our Hershey Skycam. Now you can see it's pretty covered with some snow there, and we are seeing that light snow, and it's only 11 degrees. 11 with an east-southeast wind that is light, so at least the winds have let up some for this overnight hour. So in the meantime, overnight tonight, again, we're going to get mostly light snow. Heaviest, I think, will be south of the turnpike and along the Mason-Dixon line. It'll be that powdery stuff, but it may make it a little slick out there because look at the numbers. They're not going anywhere tonight. We're going to stay in those cold ranges. And then in the teens tomorrow morning, mainly just some flurries around. I think it's over with by the morning commute the way it looks right now. The drier air is really sweeping in with this storm. And then look for even some breaks, maybe a little more sunshine tomorrow afternoon, but still a pretty chilly day. But better than today. We're only going to be we'll be at least back up into the 20s as we go through tomorrow. Here are the temperatures right now. Generally, low teens, single digits, 8 degrees up in Lewistown, and you pull out a little bit. Look at this difference. I think Raleigh-Durham's at 22, 53 in Wilmington. Look at that sharp difference across parts of the Carolinas, and that is where they're getting the icy weather. Farther north, you get into colder air, snow. But you can see the bright bands of white. They're going to stay off to our south. D.C., parts of the Delmarva, extreme South Jersey. That's where you could get that double-digit snow. We're going to stay on the lighter side of this and just get that lighter end of the snow. The storm's well down to our south. What's also suppressing it is this area of high pressure and this easterly wind. But that gives us the cold air. You need the cold, right? But too much cold means light snow. You can see the brighter whites going off to our south and continuing out to sea, maybe even seeing a little bit of some sunshine. Now, this is another Arctic front. Comes in here on Wednesday. Could be a few more snow squalls like Saturday. It doesn't look as intense, but we'll watch for that. That could be enough to cover the ground, and behind it, yeah, it gets cold again. In fact, we may be lowering some of these numbers too. We're in the 20s the next few days. Look at that, only teens. We could get up on Friday morning down near 0 again. We stay in the teens again Friday. Another chance of some precipitation. A couple of the computer models we've been watching are a little variance as we go through the weekend. In fact, some even get it warm enough to give us a little mix. We'll see on that. But this storm, by the way, by some of the computer models, let's say 5-6 days ago, was forecast to be a mix of precipitation. So
winter's got quite an icy grip on it.
I think it does. I think it's going to stay pretty cold through at least next week. There are some signs of a warm-up. Just
all you have to do is look at Boston to feel good about it.
Well, I was talking June.
All right. Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, the cold weather made fighting a fire tougher in Lancaster County this morning. Hay was being pulled on a trailer that caught fire on the exit ramp from Route 30 east to New Holland Pike. Well, firefighters told us it took longer to put out the flames because fire hoses were freezing almost immediately.
Cold weather is also leading to broken water pipes in Lancaster County. A pipe broke this morning in the fire sprinkler system at the Elizabethtown Public Library. The library is closed until the damage is fixed. The pipe break is over a storage area and a coffee shop.
Frozen pipes also caused big problems for a homeowner in York County today. Crews were called to this Dallas townhome after reports of smoke in the basement. Firefighters say it started as the homeowner tried to thaw a frozen pipe with a blowtorch.
We advise strongly against that. Use heaters that don't use a flame or some type of wrapping on the pipe.
Well, the Red Cross says if you must thaw a frozen pipe, try using a hair dryer. And as you do, you want to make sure the faucet is open because running water is actually going to help thaw the pipe faster.
Sports is next on News 8, including high school hockey playoffs. What happened when Hershey took on Palmyra?
Looks like the Garcias got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like a Buick.
Buick.
I'm outside. Where are you?
I'm right here. I'm in the Buick.
I don't see a Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
That's not a Buick. That's what I told him. Wow. This is
Nice.
Oh, my.
Now during the Buick President's Day event, get $5,000 total cash back on select Buick sedans in stock the longest.
Dr. Oz unveils the busy woman's 1-week recharge.
In less than 4 minutes a day. And you know what? It's actually kind of fun.
A plan to keep you going all day long. All new Oz.
Tuesday at 4 on Channel 8.
The first big Toyota event of the year is here. The Toyota President's Event, on for 5 days only, with an additional $500 in Toyota bonus cash on all RAV4s. That means RAVs with $1,250 cash back, or 0% APR plus $500 Toyota bonus cash. Visit buyatoyota.com for more deals, including the biggest savings ever on the new Camry, $750 cash back. Hurry, the Toyota President's Event ends Monday. Toyota, let's go places.
Think you have the fastest internet? Think again. This is Xfinity. This is your current internet provider.
Which do you think is going to download faster?
I'm going to go with what I know. Ready?
Yes.
Download.
Well,
Xfinity is way faster.
That's not even fair.
And we're done. I'm going to go.
I may have to switch to Xfinity.
Don't let your internet slow you down. Switch to Xfinity from Comcast for $79.99 a month for 12 months, plus upgrade to get even more speed. Only at Comcast.com/switch today.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln.
In honor of our great American presidents, we're celebrating our great American lineup. The Jeep President's Day event. During President's Day, well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on one of these 2015 Jeep brand vehicles.
Next, we've got all kinds of special guests.
Is Charlie Sheen gonna pop up?
Pop up is an interesting clip. Once Ashton arrived, it was just fun.
Tuesday at 7 on Channel 8.
News 8's Skycam Network, sponsored by Jones Honda. Now, News 8 Sports, sponsored by the Apple Automotive Group.
When you get two of the top women's field hockey teams on the planet, it's not surprising the games are close, and you can't get any closer than the first pair of games between Team USA and Argentina held in Lancaster County. The teams tied their first two meetings at Team USA's headquarters at Spooky Nook. Tonight was Game 3 of the four-game series, and gee, what do you know, another close one. U.S. coach Craig Parnham watching his ladies take the lead on Argentina. U.S. on the attack, the ball finds its way to Melissa Gonzalez, who fires into the cage, 1-0 USA. Later on, Penn Manor grad Joe Whitmer on the break centers to Gonzalez, who whips in a reverse stick beauty, 2-0 U.S. But Argentina scored with 3 minutes to go to get within one. Then with 10 seconds to go, Carla Rebecki fires it home. We end up tied once again, 2-2. The fourth and final game of the series will be Wednesday evening at Spooky Nook. It was an awful year for the NFL when it came to domestic violence. Tonight, NASCAR is dealing with its own issue after driver Kurt Busch was hit with a restraining order to stay away from his ex-girlfriend. Busch must stay 100 yards away from ex-girlfriend Patty Driscoll and her residence and place of work. She testified at a hearing that Busch slammed her head 3 times into the wall of his trailer at Dover Speedway back in September. The judge's order today also says Busch must be evaluated for mental health and anger management. NASCAR said it will not take any action against the driver. Onto the ice, the high school hockey playoffs getting down to the nitty-gritty. We start with a semifinal match between Lower Dauphin and Cumberland Valley. First period, Lower Dauphin's Carter Schofield shoots, but Owen Gallagher makes the save for the Eagles. Then the Eagles on the attack. Dalton Asper shoots and finds the net. This game goes back and forth. Lower Dauphin's Riley Donor breaks through the defense and whips in a backhand. The Falcons advance with a 6-5 shootout victory. Palmyra and Hershey, the top two teams in Tier 1, getting a little chippy tonight. Third period, Hershey's Logan Price delivers a blow. The Trojans in white on the move. Patrick Larkin shoots, but Liam Schmidt makes the save for Palmyra. Hershey with the lead, adding to it. Grayson Shivik with a slick wrister. The Bears advance to the title game at Hershey Park Arena with a 6-0 shutout. We are on the eve of one of the biggest nights of the high school hoop season. The district playoffs tip off tomorrow for both boys and girls. News 8 will be covering 8 games, including Lancaster Catholic's boys visiting Steel High and Redlands girls taking on Dallastown. College hoops tonight, Pitt taking on number 2 Virginia. The Cavaliers have the best defense in the ACC. How about some O? Malcolm Brogdon with a drive and slam. Cavaliers win, improving to 24-1, the best start in school history. Number 6 Villanova hosting Seton Hall, which beat the Cats earlier this year. Late in the game, Nova routing the Pirates when tempers flare. The Pirates' Sterling Gibbs punches Ryan Arcidiacono right in the face. Gibbs was ejected, now faces a suspension. Arcidiacono was okay, even hit his free throws. Nova went on to romp. Gibbs took to Twitter afterwards to apologize. On to baseball. In another decade or so, the New York Yankees might run out of numbers for their players. 3 of the stars from their world title teams in the 90s get the honor of having their numbers retired. Pitcher Andy Pettitte, catcher Jorge Posada, and center fielder Bernie Williams will have their numbers retired. Derek Jeter will be soon to follow. With this trio, 20 Yankees numbers have now been retired. Golf news, Davis Love III named the captain for the U.S. Ryder Cup team in 2016. It will be his second captainship. And we roll for home with embarrassing moments. At the Westminster Dog Show tonight, Musha, a toy Manchester Terrier, has a little fun. Just jumps right into one of the boxes. Must have looked like home to Musha. He was immediately disqualified and banned from the event.
No.
We're kidding.
The crowd loves that stuff so much at the dog shows.
I don't think his handler knew what to do there.
He might have got a few extra points for that.
Everybody likes that because it's how their dogs behave at home.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mike. Looking live now over Hanover, York County. Streets getting a little white out there through town right now. When we come back, a final look at the forecast.
When you see news happening, email news8@wgal.com.
1 or 2 or both. At VisionWorks, you get 2 pairs of glasses for the price of 1. And right now, come in for a $19 eye exam. It's all about helping you be a better you. VisionWorks.
The Kia President's Day sales event is here, and so are the deals. Like $149 a month on the Optima LX plus $500 auto show bonus. Backed by an industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Also, Consumer's Digest calls it a Best Buy. Plus, be the first to see the all-new 2016 Kia Sorento. So hurry in, because these presidential savings won't last long. Get the 2015 Optima LX for $149 a month, plus $500 auto show bonus.
What's important to me, and Jess's dad helped remind me of that. The first year that Jess worked for us, one of the best moments of their life was when Jess got her first paycheck, and they went out to dinner, and this young lady paid for it. That's what's important.
The Lancaster Heart and Vascular Institute gives you heart care among the nation's best, so you don't have to stop doing what you love to do. From the region's top doctors using the latest technologies and procedures to specialized services for heart failure, heart rhythm disorders, and more, we partner with you to help you stay heart healthy and enjoy life. Lancaster Heart and Vascular Institute. Choose well, be well.
It's much faster if you go the other way. This leather's fancy.
Yeah, it's the premium package.
Oh, your grandfather loved it when I wore leather. He was a very dominant man.
Mom?
What? Can you pick up the pace? I'm 80.
Hurry in now to the BMW Sports Activity Sales Event for exceptional offers.
Did you know you don't have to get your glasses where you get your eyes examined? At VisionWorks, we have the most frames of anyone. So bring us your prescription and find a pair of glasses that fit your style and your budget. It's all about helping you be a better you. VisionWorks.
Good people make good things happen. At Wolf's, our people make all the difference. Another reason to shop Wolf's.
A couple of popular York County birds welcomed a new addition this weekend. On Saturday, an egg was laid in the eagle's nest, which is featured on the Cadora State Park Eagle Cam. The cam is streamed live on the PA Game Commission's website. A second and possibly third egg is expected to arrive soon. Many of you are asking about how the cold weather affects the egg. Well, we checked with News 8 naturalist Jack Hubley, who says when the egg is first laid, it is more cold tolerant. Once she lays more eggs, the eagles will be more conscientious about keeping the eggs warm.
Can't tell if she's trying to lay another one there or if she's keeping the other one warm.
We'll know soon.
That's cool.
A little bit of snow out there. Let's check the radar. You see it's mostly light stuff, a little moderate band out of Lebanon into parts of Berks County there. And we're still going to stick with this 2 to 4 south and then a coating to 2 north. But I'd look at the lower ends of that is the way it looks right now, because this storm is mainly heading off to our south and should be over with by the time we get to the morning commute.
Thank you. And thank you for watching News 8 at 11.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Closed captioning is underwritten by Yoder's, one of your family-owned markets.